Howdy. Earlier today, I saw a discussion by the Black Conservative Perspective, Greg Foreman, on his channel on YouTube, and I've posted a link to that below. The clip actually discusses an interesting phenomenon regarding the panic that still ensues in the land of never Trumpers and Democrats, etc., regarding their misrepresentation of January 6th and former President Trump and all that he represents. And so that video was interesting in and of itself. But the last couple of minutes of that video, there was a snippet from a discussion. And then later I found a video, a copy of that discussion in another link that I'm going to play now and include that link in the post below, and just make a couple of quick comments on the mistaken view of democracy in the United States today.
We can't just worry about protecting democracy. In this moment, we've got to reimagine it with people that look and love like us at the center. And I think for us right now, it's about reimagining freedom and this American story in a way that is more revolutionary than what our founders actually put down on that little piece of paper, but instead is the type of democracy that is by and for all of the people of this country. That's the opportunity that we have.
So in that clip, I think is highlighted one of the issues with respect to people's complaining about democracy or whether or not democracy is in play. A lot of it centers on a misunderstanding of the purpose behind the Electoral College and how a candidate can win a majority of the individual votes cast across the country and still lose the presidency. And it also misrepresents the idea behind a representative republic as opposed to a direct democracy when people refer to democracy. And it misrepresents the opportunity that minority perspectives, whether it's based on race or gender or anything, religion, you name it, that minority perspectives have in the United States compared to any other country in the world throughout history, and including the current day. The long and short of it is, in an effort to federalize and nationalize every issue, minorities, and again, I'm not talking about race or gender, I'm just talking about minorities in general, less than 50%, minority positions by trying to insist that their framing of the world be the defining model for the United States, ignore the very concept or the very definition of democracy that they're trying to claim to represent. You can't reframe democracy to mean anything other than majority rule. The thing that the founders established in the Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution and in the unfolding development of America up to the point that we have today is a context in which, in fact, minority positions can find security in the context of their own locale, their own locality, whether it be a home or a community, based on religion, based on gender, based on whatever, while establishing a nation that is organized according to certain principles, one of the main principles being protection of different perspectives on life. But when people who have a minority position, let alone a less than 1% minority position, try to usurp the basic structure of governance in America to insist that their perspectives be the dominant position in politics against the will of the majority of the people, then you've got a recipe for problems. Then you've got attention being drawn to people and to actions and to ideas that the vast majority of America have no interest in or concern for, and to draw attention to them, it's the equivalent of essentially waking the sleeping bear. So this discussion that is offered in this clip just highlights one of the important problems we have in trying to talk about democracy, as opposed to recognizing the minimalist approach that ought to be taken at the federal level, so that at the local level, people actually can employ democratic ideals and individual voters voting for certain positions, holding certain positions that may be different from what voters and the majority of Americans believe about certain topics, but still be able to live as they believe life ought to be lived. Thank you all very much. Look forward to hearing what you have to say. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for your time. I've got a couple other videos listed here if you'd like to take a look at those. And as I'd like to discuss issues related to politics, religion, society, and how in the world we're supposed to understand ourselves and life in the world. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.